Restoring Illinois to greatness. This is Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Opportunity Project and hosted by AM 560's Dan Proft.
Dan and Pat back on this edition of Rising. This was an interesting development. Blair Garber, who's the Evanston Township Republican committeeman, he's a longtime political ally of Governor Rauner's. We both know Blair for a long time. You know, this is a small universe of Republican officials. Gotten along fine with Blair over the years, worked together on some campaigns and stuff. But he's been outspoken in his advocacy for Bruce Rauner, in particular since he got appointed to the Illinois Lottery Control Board.
Funny how that works.
And very critical of Jeanne Ives and people supportive of Jeanne Ives. And so Blair sort of likes to run his mouth, and that sort of like got him in trouble this week because he sort of like referred to East St. Louis by using the same word that President Trump allegedly used to describe certain countries in Africa, the S-hole word. And that was met with immediate reaction from Jeanne Ives, interestingly, calling for Governor Rauner to remove Garber from the Illinois Lottery Control Board. And that happened quickly because I think Rauner saw that he was exposed on that flank a little bit. And even though Garber is a mouthpiece for the governor, you got to do some damage control and separate yourself from your allies when they say the things that Garber said.
Well, what's interesting about this, Dan, is this is sort of like, for Bruce Rauner, death of a thousand cuts, right? So the week before last, it was his school chief who was proposing billions of dollars in additional taxes to fund schools, even though we were supposed to have already funded schools. And oh, by the way, we just got our taxes raised by $5.4 billion at 32% rate. And then, after that, he gets his butt kicked by Jeanne Ives in the editorial, and everybody's saying the game is on. This is a real contender. And then the Blair Garber kerfuffle ends up happening. And so what it shows the electorate is that when Bruce Rauner says, "I'm not in charge," he means it, right? And then there's the Quincy Veterans Home. I mean, it's just one cut after another of mismanagement and poor executive handling.
And when he uses one of the 77 words in the English language he knows, superstars.
Madigan.
Going to be administration full of superstars.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that's a tough case to make out. Here, the other thing about what Blair said is it's not just that he got caught. It's not just that it's intemperate. It's unacceptable, and I've properly pointed this out, because it's a fundamental misunderstanding of the problem. Yes, there are families struggling in Illinois, and there are communities that are struggling in Illinois, and East St. Louis is one of them. But it's not East St. Louis that deserves to be ridiculed. It's the craven, calculating politicians who've destroyed communities through their terrible public policy, like East St. Louis, or certainly exacerbated their decline and prevented their renaissance because of the policy choices that have been made. It's about time in this state we stopped ridiculing struggling people and struggling communities and started focusing on the people who are inducing the struggles. And that's the fundamental misunderstanding that Garber exemplified with his intemperate comment.
That's why our prior segment, Dan, and this segment are related, right? It's who is in charge. What is their attitude about the people they serve, right? The people of East St. Louis and other communities want a better opportunity. They want good schools. They want economic opportunity. They're relying on their public officials to help provide them and navigate them. And the people who are obsessed with, Iris Silverstein and with, veterans homes where people are dying and all these other things are not providing it to them. And when they don't provide it to them, they blame the people, and it's not their fault because it's the kind of person that's in office that's causing the problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's unfortunate, but some people have to learn hard lessons, and Blair Garber learned one, and
there are more to come.
Yeah, hopefully one will be served up to Bruce Rauner in the not too distant future.